Hello, my name is Hakim with Takeoff Experts. Today I want to talk to you for 5 to 10 minutes about the advantages of getting your takeoffs done professionally in order to submit your commercial painting bids. In my previous video titled Challenges of Measuring Drawings for Commercial Painting, I mentioned bidder's fatigue. Now I came up with that term because there is no other way to describe this frustration which we all experience from time to time. Sometimes in between our commercial painting projects, we paint interiors of houses. So last week I was at a residential job site with my painters. I was chatting with the owner, who is a plumbing contractor. He told me about when he had submitted a bid for a very large project and another bid came in tens of thousands of dollars lower than his. Now that is extreme, and my goal is not to discuss the topic of pricing here, but the message he was giving was that of frustration. He has over 30 years of experience of running his plumbing company, and at one time he had over 40 plumbers under him. He bid his best and his bid was still not successful. Now, I personally think that either his takeoffs were not done properly or professionally, or the other company underbid their job, perhaps due to just ballparking the job or not doing their takeoffs accurately. The result of not doing proper takeoffs is underbidding or overbidding. Now, both these are undesirable, of course. It is still possible to overbid if your pricing is generally higher than your competition, even if your takeoffs are accurate. But the foundation of any commercial painting bid is accurate takeoffs. So here is a list of 7 advantages of getting your commercial painting takeoffs done professionally, either in-house or by a professional takeoff service. Number 1, bidder's fatigue can be overcome. This is the biggest issue. If you are a painting contractor, whether small scale or large scale, you can't keep up with all the bid requests and addendums coming in from GCs by spending several hours a day reading and measuring drawings. You have to focus more on bidding and operations, etc. If you have to do everything, it tires you out. And when the few bids that you do manage to send out do not bring any contracts, you experience frustration. Then you start putting off and slacking off on the bidding. This results in even lesser bids going out as the year goes by. And maybe you should try to track that. You should try to track how many bids you are doing. So this can be avoided by getting someone to handle the mentally challenging task of doing the takeoffs and spreadsheets. Number 2, time and energy can be well spent submitting bids and focusing on operations rather than measuring and preparing spreadsheets several hours a day. This also frees up the contractor to manage daily activities better, such as doing site visits and handling any issues at job sites. Number 3, alternative pricing is easier to figure out if you have a basis of costing in a spreadsheet. So if the architect requests alternative pricing in the drawings just before the bid is floated, or when issuing an addendum after the bid invitations go out, it is easier to add alternate cost items in the spreadsheet if your takeoffs and spreadsheets have already been prepared accurately. Otherwise, you will be making guesstimates due to lack of time and energy, especially with last-moment addendums. Number 4, smoother bidding process. Once you have established a great professional and trustworthy relationship with your service provider, that is one less major function to worry about. Just like having a good lead painter you can depend on at your job site, who you don't have to babysit, because you know now you can bid on more projects with confidence. For example, I have a painting contractor client for whom we have done over 30 takeoff projects in the last 6 months. Now these are big projects, of course. He would not be sending his drawings to me to get measured month after month if our work was not producing any results for him. Obviously, he feels that whatever he is spending on having us do his takeoffs for him, it is paying off. No one wants to waste money on useless service. Number 5. Flexibility and budget control for takeoffs. It is often less expensive to avail of a takeoff service rather than hiring a full-time in-house estimator, since there is no minimum hours of work requirement as in the case of a full-time or part-time permanent employee. The service is on a use-as-needed basis. That gives the painting contractor control over the monthly budget for estimation work, especially if it is not a large painting company. Number 6. You can beat so-called experienced painting contractors who have been in the game for many years but are still ballparking the scope of work. There is nothing more accurate than OST software to prepare takeoffs and use a spreadsheet to do your costing. This levels the playing field a bit. A little bit of competition for all-timers is always good. Number 7. More balance. Instead of having to work into the evening or night trying to meet a bidding deadline by scrambling to measure drawings and ballparking numbers one day before the deadline, a painting contractor can have some more balance and family time by getting his takeoffs done professionally and properly. This sustains the motivation to stay in business and to grow it. I was watching a presentation once, and the presenter said, if you either don't have time to do a task, or you are not good at it, or you don't like doing it, or you have more important things to do, then just delegate it to someone else so that you can spend your time and energy doing and producing what you do best. In your case, that would be running your painting business and growing it with more contracts. Can you think of any other advantages? I'm sure you can if you think hard. But this is enough to get you thinking of benefits of delegating your takeoffs to a professional service. My name is Hakim with Takeoff Experts. I once read a book written by a painting contractor. I only learned one thing from the whole book. That one thing brought me an $8,000 office repaint job. So click on the subscribe button. You might learn something useful in the next video. You never know. See you in my next video.